Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel and to episode 3 of Satisfactory. Today we will tackle the case of coal power. I must admit that I find the water piping to be problematic for me, and that is probably gonna stay that way. We are going to be traveling between our coal factory and our starting factory a lot, so to help that process, we want the vehicle transportation tech and the tractor. This will decrease the travel time quite significantly. We can also use the tractor to transport goods later on, although our truck will probably be more efficient once we get to that point. Version 1.0 of our coal generator setup allowed us to get 525 megawatts of power from 7 coal generators. Unfortunately, this is not quite stable, despite the seemingly stable production line there. I'm running water from 3 different water pumps, and while they can provide 360 cubic meters of water, the single line I'm running is capped at 300 cubic meters. The coal generators need 315 cubic meters to run constantly. I could fix this by adding a second line that runs to the back of this one, I think. But eventually I decided to just cut my losses and take one generator down instead. With 6 generators, I have 450 megawatts of constant power being generated, and I still have plenty of coal to spare for steel production. After taking down some hatcheries and a bigger hog, we capture our first yellow slug. This will provide us with 2 power shots when studied in the MAM first. The cave system next to the coal factory leads to quartz nodes. The cave systems are usually always home to some stingers, so again, if you are afraid of spiders, you may want to turn on the arachnophobia mode in the settings. And here we can see those power fluctuations I mentioned earlier in effect. Generators are shutting down and coming back online after they receive enough water to run again. To progress in the game, we need to get steel production going. For that, we need the basic steel production tech. Good thing is that the coal node is giving us 60 coal per minute in the coal factory. The power generators are burning 50 coal per minute each, so with 6 generators we are burning 90 coal per minute. But we have unlocked overclocking, and with 3 power shots we can easily produce more coal and be able to run steel foundries. And we are also currently only using 1 of the 4 coal nodes, so there is plenty of upgrade potential in the coal factory. We have researched caterium, and we want to locate a source we can mine so that we can produce AI limiters and thus smart splitters. With those, we can automate our conveyor belts to send any excess items to the awesome sink, and since we already have power sorted out, well, sort of, we need to sort out the conveyor belt overflows now. Once both of them are complete, we can leave the game open and running in the background, and the factory will keep running forever. Which means I can do something else, like edit episode 3 in DaVinci Resolve while the game runs on the background. Which is exactly what I did, although I reached this point in episode 1 already. Editing is taking a fair amount of time and it lags way behind the footage I have recorded. Unfortunately, the caterium node is covered by a boulder, so I will not be able to put a mine there. Instead, I have to use the miner drones and manually start producing the items in situ. Which is unfortunate, but on the other hand, getting the Nobilis tech is right around the corner. With a caterium source located, we can research the caterium ingots and then quickwire, and after that, the AI limiters. What I'm about to do now is what I call a hack job. I will build a constructor and an assembler on the rooftop here, and maybe connect them to storage buildings. Then I will set them up to produce one particular item that I need and supply the needed resources by bringing them directly to the machine. So they are quite separate from the rest of the facility. I usually do this when I quickly need something built and I don't want to spend time building foundations and an actual factory for it right now. And finally, with the smart splitter tech, we can start building overflow conveyor belts to the sink, and our factory will be fully automated, and our excess produce will be crunched to fix it coupons.
Offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
Producing steel has begun with a temporary and a rather flimsy setup for now. Excess coal goes to the foundry with a close-by iron node on the hilltop providing the necessary iron. Steel is then sent to a constructor that produces steel beams for Mark III belts. Logistics Mark III provides us with the Mark III belts. The first place where we're going to be using these belts are the ones leading to the awesome sink. They have been clocking up for ages, and this will increase the production speed of the coupons. The bigger storage containers are also a welcome addition, providing a bigger buffer for produced items.
Production speed is of the essence after all. So work hard. Work as if every person you have ever or will ever love is depending solely on the choices that you make. Because they are. Warning. Fix-it psychologists recommend not dwelling on the crushing mental and physical strain of your responsibilities and simply continuing to be productive. Hard work.
Advanced steel production gives us the Mark II miner. This means we can double the production of our nodes. The first location where we'll be using this is the coal node. We can then free up some of those power shards we've been using now to provide us with enough coal to keep the steel production going. We can also start tapping into the other coal nodes at this point.
Every moment you delay reduces the chances of saving humanity. I will not show you the predictions, it would only demotivate you.
Okay, I wanna see the end game now, because they're really playing the destruction of humanity and all that, but I think I'm just gonna be dumped into this planet and with a note, hey, thank you, your contract has been terminated. Have a nice day, or something like that. Right? It's gonna be nasty.
Hypertube technology, the best way to travel in my opinion. Quick, easy and moderately safe once you get the tubes in place. My plan is to have at least 2 tubes on the Sky Bridge, one that goes to the next factory and transport hub, and another that takes you from one major production center to the next, or something like that. I've not really decided where those exit points will be. The reason why I think the hypertubes are the best way to travel in this game is that they need very little player interaction and you can easily travel long distances. And when you leave the game on while editing videos for YouTube, you start seeing these numbers after returning to the game. Granted, the point number generator is very poor, but it will be getting higher once I get more factories running and producing more extra stuff. To finish off phase 2, I have created 2 temporary facilities to produce the items in question. So here is a hack job that produces versatile frameworks from steel beams and modular frames. This will eventually be upgraded to make the production a little easier once I get an alternate coal recipe. On the other side of my factory, I have a setup to produce stators and automated wiring. This has not been upgraded as of just yet, but now that I think about it, I could be producing these in here with some extra help. I have upgraded the coal factory to produce these, so why bother on the other hand? I will see how many of these I will eventually need, and I'm probably already overproducing these on the background. The real question is, should I be producing stators in the starting factory or transporting them from another place? The back of the factory is filled up with bigger storage containers with overflow set up for the awesome sink. The wire, cable and copper sheet production area has its own storage on the second floor. I would have liked to have them on the same area, but the storage containers simply took too much space for my liking. The real problem is with the conveyor spaghetti going around the factory. We will probably start addressing this issue in the future factory builds. The concrete production facility has also gained its own somewhat closed building. I still need those wedge wall pieces to completely close off these buildings though. With the Novelist tech done, we can start tearing down borders and gas spires. That will open up new routes on the map and allow us to tap into more nodes that have previously been unavailable. We also got the blueprint tech. Oh boy, I wonder how much footage I got from that thing. I feel that it might actually be its own episode. I mean, it seems simple and easy tech and quite useful, but when you start using it, you realize the can of worms you may have just opened up. Don't get me wrong, it does help you out, but you really have to learn to use it or it will just frustrate you. I can understand why they did it the way they did it, but it isn't easy and apparent to use to a new player. So there's that. I think I'll call it a day with this thing. The next episode will be completely about blueprints, I believe. It might be a shorter video, but I want to keep the blueprint stuff on its own episode if possible. Thank you all for watching, and bye for now.